Lock the gates. No one leaves this house.
Sir, but we already did.
Then where is my wife? She was right here 5 minutes ago.
Sir, she never went through the gates, the guard said. Julian's voice dropped deadly. Then explain to me how Sarah disappeared. I don't know, sir. Find her, he roared. Search every room, every corner, now. Yes, sir. She's inside, sir. I saw her go back in. Check the cameras, Julian snapped. She couldn't have vanished into thin air. Right away, sir. If anything happens to her. Julian's voice darkened, turning dangerous. None of you will walk out of here. Damn it, Julian cursed. He turned and strode inside, heading straight for the kitchen. Sarah sometimes cooked there. Sarah! The two maids froze, eyes wide. Sir, ma'am hasn't been here. He shot them a hard glare and stormed out again. Baby girl, please don't leave me, he muttered, voice breaking as he searched. As he passed the hallway leading to the guest rooms, he caught sight of a figure in the garden. He stopped. Sarah? He rushed toward her, then froze as he saw the bottle in her hands. You don't drink, Sarah. What's wrong with you? Julian demanded as she lifted it to her lips. So now you lock me up like a prisoner? She snapped. I don't want you to leave me, Julian said. Are you crazy? She faced him, eyes blazing. Julian, I don't want you anymore. He flinched.
Sign the divorce papers. I'm no longer interested in this marriage.
No, I won't. You are my wife.
I just said I no longer want to be Julian.
And I just said I won't divorce you, Sarah.
If you don't open those gates, I will report you for kidnapping. Sarah brushed past him. Julian froze, something in his chest cracking. When did his wife become this cold? His mind raced. Sarah never acted like this. Then it clicked. His brother, at the party, the way she stood beside him. Julian's jaw tightened. If you've poisoned her against me, he muttered under his breath, eyes darkening. I'll end you. He spun around, rushed to the garage, jumped into his car, and sped off. Julian stormed into his brother's house, fury in his voice. What the hell are you doing here? Marcel barked back. Before he could react, Julian's fist slammed into his lip. Marcel, what did you tell Sarah? I caught her drinking, and now she wants a divorce. Just hours after seeing you. Julian swung again, but Marcel caught his hand, laughing. I'm not the problem in your marriage. If you treated your wife right, she wouldn't look my way. How dare you? Julian snapped. You already took my inheritance? Now you want my wife too? He drove his knee in. Marcel staggered but smirked. I don't want to hit you, Julian, but if you touch me again, you'll regret it. What will you do? Julian growled. He threw another punch. Marcel hit back instantly. Blows landed fast, fury exploding between them. Then Marcel grabbed him, lifted him, and threw him toward the door before slamming it shut. I'll ruin you, Julian screamed, tears breaking in his eyes. He stormed out, got into his car, and sped off. The moment he entered his compound, police vans surrounded the building. Boss! Piper, the head of security, rushed to him. Your wife called the police. What? Julian snapped and rushed inside. Police officers moved toward him immediately. We have reason to believe you kidnapped your wife. Julian froze, then looked up at Sarah. Tell them it's a lie, he said sharply. I'm leaving this place, Sarah replied coldly. Ma'am, is that your statement? An officer asked. I want to leave, she confirmed. The officer turned back to Julian. You either let her go, or you come with us to the station. Julian slowly raised his hands. Sarah picked up her bag, exhaled sharply, and walked past him.
Sarah!
Julian called again, his voice breaking. She didn't look back. The officer guided her out. The maids watched in silence. Boss, your nose is bleeding, one of them whispered. Get out! Julian roared. Everyone, leave here! They scattered instantly. Julian staggered, clutching his chest as tears fell. Only then did he notice the blood on his hand. Reality hit. He went upstairs, grabbed a tissue and wiped it off at his desk. His eyes landed on Sarah's photo.
His heart breaking all over again.
Without hesitation, he picked up his phone and dialed Marcel. You've gone too far, Julian said coldly. What plans did you have when you returned to New York City? Business. But when I see a beautiful woman standing alone at an event, I step in like a gentleman and take care of her.
Marcel answered.
That's my wife, and you know that. You didn't act like her husband. Stay away from my wife and my family. Relax, brother. I don't take what doesn't want me, but if she does, I will take her. Don't test me, Julian roared. Laughter echoed before the line cut. Julian stared at the phone, grip tightening. He screamed, hurling the phone aside. Meanwhile, Sarah arrived at Marcel's house. He opened the door with a smirk. So he finally let you out? No, Sarah said calmly. I called the police. Marcel raised a brow, amused. Didn't know you had fire like that. He took her bag. Her lips trembled, but she stayed composed. I just got off a call with your husband, Marcel said casually. He threatened to kill me. Just show me where to sleep, Sarah replied flatly. Marcel smirked. Down the hallway. As she walked off, he added lightly, this is going to get interesting. The next morning, Julian's phone rang. He remained slumped on his office chair, still wearing the same clothes from yesterday. The ringing grew louder. He groaned and picked up. Julian, your clients are waiting for the meeting. Handle it, Julian barked. That's what I pay you for. He ended the call and exhaled sharply. Then he stood and walked out. Hours later, his friend stepped into the office and froze. The place was a mess. Julian looked worse still drinking. Man, his friend said quietly, you look terrible. Julian didn't respond, just sipped on his drink. There's something you need to hear, his friend added. A Mr. Marcel came in, asking for a partnership. Julian's expression darkened instantly. What? Before his friend could say more, Julian stormed out. Wait here, he shouted. This bastard wants to see the other side of me. He muttered under his breath, zooming off to Marcel's house.
Stay away from my company!
You don't own everything, brother.
Before Julian could respond, Sarah stepped out. Everything stopped. Julian's voice broke. Sarah? He took a step toward her. Baby, what are you doing here? She turned away without answering. Julian heard the click lock. Julian froze. Something inside him shattered. Marcel laughed softly. Still chasing someone who already left you? Get out, Marcel added coldly. Julian didn't fight this time. He just left defeated. Marcel walked back in. Sarah sat quietly, tears falling heavily from her eyes. I think my brother actually loves you, he said. She shook her head. He doesn't. Your brother was cruel to me, she said. Marcel crouched slightly. You deserved better, Sarah. He reached for her, brushing her shoulder gently. Thank you for letting me stay, she whispered. Marcel smiled, cupped her face, and leaned in. She pushed him back instantly. Don't, she said. Marcel smiled faintly. Funny, you run from him but still flinch for him. He murmured and leaves. Sarah's tears fell harder. Julian returned home. His friend was still waiting. You need to listen to me, his friend said seriously. You don't know Marcel the way you think you do. Julian stayed silent for a second, then hit the table cursing under his breath. What's going on? His friend pressed. Julian exhaled slowly. Sarah wants a divorce, and she left. What? His friend froze. Julian, I don't know you to give up. Go get her back, his friend said quickly. Flowers, messages, fight for her. That evening, Julian sent thousands of apologies messages, confessing his undying love, but none of them got a reply. He sent flowers. They came back, again, and again, and again. Julian stared at the last returned bouquet. His hand tightened and a tear dropped from his eyes. Meanwhile, at his house, Marcel leaned back, watching Sarah, whose face had remained tight and red. Pick a side, he said calmly, shaking his head at her. The next morning, Julian stormed into work, screaming at all his employees. Is this what you call results? He barked, and everyone went silent in the meeting room. Think tension filling the air. His friend stepped in. Out, everyone, he ordered. The employees immediately scrambled to their feet, running out. The meeting isn't over. Why did you do that? Julian said coldly. Stop, his friend said firmly. Don't destroy your company because you're angry. Julian turned on him. Stay out of it. His friend didn't back down. This is why she left you, he said. Heavy silence followed. You don't love her. You control her. Julian froze. If you're not okay, his friend added, calmer now. Stay home. Let us handle things. He walked away. Julian stood there, then slowly sank into his chair and broke down. A tear slipped down his face as he remembered the way his mother was cruel to their father despite his love for her. and he had watched how it almost destroyed his father. But he had stayed and took care of him even as a teenager. Even Marcel ran away. Then he swore never to let any woman mess with him, so he chose control over love. Meanwhile, at Marcel's house, Sarah sat quietly, eyes red. Marcel leaned against the wall, watching her with something close to irritation. For someone who wants a divorce, you're not acting like it. Are you still in love with Julian? Sarah raised her brow to him. You really think you know my brother? He continued. She still didn't respond. He exhaled lightly. He wasn't always like this. That got her attention. Our mother loved our father in the worst way possible, Marcel continued. I watched my father love a woman who turned it into manipulation. Sometimes I wondered why my father didn't divorce. Love can be crazy, right? Sarah's brows furrowed. Little Julian watched everything, Marcel added. And when I left, he stayed and helped my father after my mother divorced him. He shook his head. He took it all. Sarah's voice came out soft. That doesn't justify how he treated me. Marcel tilted his head slightly. No, he said calmly. It doesn't. Then his tone shifted. Then why did you fall for my brother if you think he is a bad person? It's obvious you were in love with him when I first met you. Sarah looked up at him in confusion. She opened her mouth to talk, but no words came out. Marcel smirked faintly. Or was it what came with him that you wanted? I'm not poor, Sarah spat. Marcel watched her quietly. His expression wavered. Don't think you're the only one who suffered. Then why do you hate him so much? Sarah whispered. Marcel smiled slightly. I don't. I just refuse to become him. Evening had come. Julian sat alone in his office, staring at Sarah's picture, not willing to go back to the emptiness of his home. Silence filled the room. His eyes were empty, but his mind wasn't. His eyes shut again. He reflected on his marriage with Sarah.
I'm going to dinner with my friends.
No.
Julian cut in immediately. She blinked. What? I told you, Sarah. No friends. They'll fill your head with nonsense. They're my friends, Julian, and you know them. And I'm your husband. Listen to me, I am your only friend. He snapped. Sarah's shoulders dropped as she stared at her husband. Go in and change. I'll take you to dinner after work. Sarah swallowed and moved back into her closet. Another time at crowded event, where Julian had brought her, Sarah stood beside him, quiet, distant. A woman approached smiling, wanting to introduce herself. Hi, you must be Sarah. She's with me, Julian cut in sharply. The woman paused, then walked away. Sarah looked at him. You didn't have to do that. I know what's best for you, he replied. Her expression fell. Julian's eyes snapped open. His breathing shifted, the reality hit hard. Oh, God. His voice cracked. Baby, I treated you badly. What have I done to you? He grabbed his bag without hesitation and rushed out. Julian pulled into the garage and froze. A black car sat parked near the entrance. The hairs on his neck rose instantly. Piper, he barked. Boss. Piper appeared immediately. Julian pointed at the car. Who owns that? Your brother, sir, he... The slap came fast before Piper could finish, and he staggered. You've lost your mind? Julian snapped. You let people into my house without my permission? Sir, You're fired, Julian cut in coldly. I don't want to see you here again. Tell Jerry to take over. He didn't wait for a response. He stormed inside. The moment he entered the living room, he grabbed Marcel by the collar. You, his voice shook with rage. How the hell did you get into my house? Damn, Julian, you've gotten stronger, Marcel muttered, prying his grip loose. Julian stepped forward again, ready to swing. Marcel raised his hands slightly. I didn't come to fight you. Julian let out a bitter laugh. Then why are you here? To mock me? To show me you've finally taken my wife? Marcel exhaled. For once, just listen. Julian scoffed but didn't move. Marcel's tone shifted. Calmer now. I'm not the perfect elder brother, I know that. Truth is, I was a coward. Julian let out a dry laugh. Now you're admitting it? I left, Marcel continued. But you stayed. You carried everything. And it changed you. Julian's jaw tightened. So what? He shot back. This was your plan? Get to me through my wife? Marcel's lips curved slightly. If I wanted your wife, Julian, she wouldn't be arguing with you. Julian stilled. Marcel stepped closer, voice quieter now. I didn't come for her. I came to show you what you're about to lose. Julian's anger flickered. You're becoming just like Mother. The woman you hated. The words landed hard. Julian didn't speak. You hated what she did to him, but you're doing the same thing. Silence stretched between them. Julian's lips parted slightly. I think, his voice dropped, trembling. I've already done too much damage. For the first time, there was no anger. Just regret. Marcel studied him for a moment, then nodded faintly. I don't know, he said simply. Father's company, Marcel added. It was always yours. I came to give it back. Julian shook his head slowly. I don't want it. His voice broke. I just want my wife back. Marcel placed a hand briefly on his shoulder. I ran then because I was afraid. And I never stopped running till now. That's why I'm still alone. Then he turned and walked out. Julian sank into the chair behind him, exhaling heavily. At Marcel's house, Sarah sat alone. Her eyes were distant and unfocused. Julian's voice echoed in her mind, not the anger, but the way it broke when he called her name the day she left. She swallowed hard. For the first time, she hesitated. Her fingers trembled as she picked up her phone, scrolling through the messages she had ignored. Tears blurred her vision. The door opened. Marcel stepped in and paused. You are crying? He moved closer instinctively, but she pulled back. He raised his hand slightly. Do you really want to go back? He asked quietly. I don't know, Sarah whispered, her voice shaking. She looked up at him. What you said about him, I understand it now. Her voice cracked. I know he loves me, but the way he showed it, she swallowed. It hurt. Marcel said nothing. I've been reading his messages, she continued softly. It's breaking me. Then Marcel exhaled lightly. If you go back, don't do it for him. Do it because you still want him. He gave her shoulder a light tap and stepped away. Let me know your decision. I'm leaving tomorrow, but I'll give you the keys, just in case you choose to stay here. He walked off. True to his word, Marcel left the next morning. Sarah stood alone in the house, the keys resting in her palm. Julian's messages echoed in her mind. Her chest tightened. She looked around and realized something. She missed him, not the control, not the pain, but him. She picked up her bag and walked out. Julian sat in his room motionless, like a man already emptied out. He didn't even hear the door open when Sarah walked in, but he felt her scent. His head snapped up. He stood abruptly, stepping back slightly, like he didn't trust what he was seeing. It's me, Julian, Sarah said quietly. His breath caught. He took a step forward, then stopped, like he didn't deserve to get any closer. You came. His voice broke. Sarah, I'm sorry. I read your messages, she said gently, cutting him off, and Marcel explained everything to me. He went silent. I'm not back because you asked me to. She let out a breath. I'm back because I'm not done with our love story yet. Julian's eyes filled instantly. I don't want us to end, he said, his voice unsteady. I love you. Sarah held his gaze. Are you willing to work on yourself? Yes, Sarah, I will, baby. I'll go to therapy, anything you want. His voice was firm as he spoke. He didn't move closer. He just stood there, tears falling from his eyes. Sarah sensed his fear and shook her head. Her billionaire who make everyone tremble is shaking before her. She melted instantly and moved closer. Julian fell on his knees and grabbed her leg, crying. If you enjoy this story, please subscribe for more.